So we're going to be looking into the Feast of Weeks, Feast of Pentecost. It's called Feast of Ingathering. Tonight. Welcome everyone. We're going to start off with Colossians 3:17 as always. I'm going to read that.
Colossians chapter 3 verse 17.
Right.
And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all by Hashem HaMashiach Yahushai, giving thanks to Yahweh by Hashem HaMashiach Yahushai.
Right, so all that we say and do is going to be in the name of the anointed Savior, of Mashiach Yahushai. Giving all praise and glory to his holy name. Khan? Glory to the Most High. Exodus 34:22.
Exodus chapter 34 verse 22. And thou shalt observe the feast of weeks, of the first fruits of wheat harvest, and the feast of ingathering at the year's end.
Right, so this is called the Feast of Weeks, Feast of Ingathering. Verse 23.
Thrice in the year shall all your men, children, appear before the Most High power and the power of Israel.
Right, it don't say and, but it says
the power of Israel.
Right. So that's 3 times of the year. The Most High require all men to appear before him. Get Deuteronomy 16th chapter. 3 times in the year, the Most High require all men to come together. Start at verse 9.
Deuteronomy chapter 16 verse 9. 7 weeks shalt thou number unto thee. Begin to number the 7 weeks from such time as thou beginnest to put the sickle to the corn.
Right, so this is during the time of, like after the Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread. He says, how long are you supposed to count? 7 weeks here, right?
Count.
7 weeks. So 7 weeks is 49 days. So that's, you got a Passover, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and you count 49 days. Go ahead.
And thou shalt keep the feast of weeks unto the Most High thy power, with a tribute of free will offering, of a free will offering of thine hand, which thou shalt give unto the Most High thy power, according as the Most High thy power hath blessed thee.
Right, so these are the things, if we coming back to our culture, then we got to look at coming back to our culture so we can start doing the things that we done before. And there's no excuse for those that we go through this every year after year after year, so you should know this is 3 times in a year, this is what all men are supposed to do. You know? So the Most High said you're supposed to bring a blessing, an offering. As the Most High has blessed you during the year, then you look at these 3 times of the year and you make sure you have something to bring for these 3 times of the year. Amen? Verse 11.
And thou shalt rejoice before the Most High thy power, thou and thy son, and thy daughter, and thy manservant, and thy maidservant, and the Levite that is within thy gates, and the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow that are among you, in the place which the Most High thy power hath chosen to place his name there.
Right, so we're supposed to be having a good time. You know, son, the daughter, everybody that's with us. It's supposed to be a joyous time. You know, go ahead.
And thou shalt remember that thou wast a bondman in Egypt.
Gotta remember that we was a bondman in Egypt, a slave in Egypt. Read.
And thou shalt observe and do these statutes.
They do these statutes. Okay, now jump to verse 16.
Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 16. 3 times in a year shall all my males, thy males, Salakia, 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Most High thy power in the place which he shall choose.
So it said thrice in Exodus, which is 3. Now I was giving understanding is 3 times in a year all the males are supposed to appear before the Most High in the place which he shall choose. Read.
In the feast of unleavened bread.
In the feast of unleavened bread, read.
And in the feast of weeks.
In the feast of weeks, which we're in now, we're observing now, read.
And in the feast of tabernacles.
And in the feast of tabernacles, read.
And they shall not appear before the Most High
So
empty.
you're not supposed to appear before the Most High empty. I mean, you're supposed to be having an offering when you come. Read.
Every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of the Most High thy power, which he hath given thee.
Right. So every man is supposed to be giving an offering as he is able, as the Most High has blessed you during the time of the year that the Most High has blessed you. Exodus 23 and 16. Exodus 23 and 16.
Exodus chapter 23, verse 16. And the feast of harvest, the first fruits of thy labors, which thou hast sown in the field, and the feast of ingathering, which is in the end of the year, when thou hast gathered in thy labors out of the field.
Right. Go ahead.
3 times in the year, all thy males shall appear before the Most High power.
See? It said 3 times in a year, once again. The third time, Most High speak once, twice, he's speaking it over and over again. Why he said it over and over again? Because we don't get it. We didn't get it then, we don't get it now. Now we're coming back to our heritage to be able to know how to serve the Most High. We can look down upon us and bless us. Continue to bless us. If you follow what he say, this is the law. We're in the law. Right? This is the law. Did Mashiach do away with the law? No, we didn't do it with the law. So now we gotta operate to the best of our ability within the law. Numbers 28 and 26.
Numbers chapter 28, verse 26. Also in the day of the first fruits, when you bring a new meat offering unto the Most High, after your weeks be out, ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work.
So this is just like a Sabbath, a regular Sabbath, where you don't do any servile work, you're not supposed to be working. It's just like a regular Sabbath. And it's the 50th day. Leviticus 23. Start at verse 15. The 7 weeks in a day, that would make 50th day. So read that.
15, 23.
Leviticus 23, 15 through 21.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 15. And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that ye brought the sheaf of the wave offering. 7 Sabbaths shall be complete.
So 7 Sabbaths is a means of counting. So we already know this 7 Sabbaths represents what? 7 what? 7 weeks. Because the Sabbath is every 7 days. Con? So he said here 7 Sabbaths. But we know that 7 Sabbaths represents what? 7 weeks. Go ahead.
Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath.
Even after the morrow, the next day after the 7th Sabbath, which is the 49th day, which will represent the 50th day, read.
Shall ye number 50 days.
There it is. So you number how many days?
50 days.
Number 50 days, read.
And ye shall offer a new meat offering unto the Most High.
Right, but we know we're not going to offer any meat offering at this time because Mashiach Yahushua is the ultimate sacrifice for the children of Israel. Con? Yes, so Exodus 34. Now get Psalms 42 and 4. Let's go into what we're doing there. Psalms 42 and 4.
Psalm chapter 42, verse 4. When I remember these things, I pour out my soul in me. For I had gone with the multitude. I went with them to the house of the Most High, with the voice of joy and praise, with a multitude that kept holy day.
See? So remember these things. So we have to remember these things and pour out my soul in me, you know, and gone with the multitude. I mean, you're not by himself. He's not by himself, going with other people. So I went with them, not by himself, to the house of the Most High. with the voice of joy and praise with the multitude that kept holy day. The multitude that kept the holy day. No matter how many it is, he said, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am in the midst thereof. Psalms 122 and 4. Psalms 122 and 4.
Psalms chapter 122, verse 4. Whither the tribes go up, the tribes of the Most High, unto the testimony of Israel, to give thanks unto Bahashim Mashakawashai.
Right, to Yahweh Bahashim Mashakawashai, you know? And that's what we did. Ezekiel 36 and 38.
Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 38. As the holy flock, as the flocks of Jerusalem, and her solemn feast.
See, our solemn feast. Because all the flock of Israel is not holy to the Most High. That's what we say, as the holy flock, the pure and righteous flock, as the flock of Jerusalem, the 12 tribes of Israel, read, and her solemn feast, read.
So shall the waste cities be filled with flocks of men, and they shall know that I am the Most High.
That's right, man. He destroyed us, he's going to restore us. Luke 2 and 41.
Luke chapter 2, verse 41. Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover.
So Hamashiach Yahushua parents, they always went to Jerusalem where they were ordained to go to for the feast of the Passover. Read.
And when he was 12 years old.
At the time he was 12 years old, which is the time of the Passover, his birthday. So you look up when, at that time, at that exact time. Read.
They went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast.
So they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast. That's what we did. John 4, 45. John the 4th chapter, the 45th verse. This is what we done. That's why we're coming back to what we done before. Mashiach Yahushua done it, his parents done it. Joseph and Mary did it. Took him there and showed him, like I say, train up a child in the way he should go. When he's old, he shall not what? Depart from it. So come on.
St. John chapter 4, verse 45. Then when he was come into Galilee, the Galileans received him, having seen all the things that he did at Jerusalem at the feast.
Where?
At the feast.
So he was at the feast too. Mashiach Yahushua was at the feast. Read.
For they also went unto the feast.
They also went to the feast. Verse 7.
Verse 7. There cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Hamashiach Yahushua said unto her, give me to drink.
Right, so this woman that was in northern Israel, but she couldn't handle this water. She couldn't handle this water that he had. Because you understand this, just like the Jewish people claim to be us, the true ethnic and biblical Jews, same thing as the Ethiopians. They were put into northern Israel during the time of Salmanasseh when he took the 10 tribes that was in northern Israel out of northern Israel because they set up 2 calves under Jeroboam. They set up 2 calves to worship instead of the Most High. So we always done that. Like you look at these churches, they're not dealing with the Most High, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. A lot of them, they're not doing that. Why I say that? Because when they I don't know, 2 days, Sunday. Abraham was set up to be worshipped on Sunday. His name was changed to Amen, Ra, whatever. These different names that they have come up with, but that's what they're doing. You know? It's over and over again. Get Matthew 26 and 17 to 20. These are the things that we got to look at this, you know, because even though Mashiach Yahushua, because we don't get every day of his life, or no one's life for that matter, but we know that, I'm just showing you that he did observe certain things. 26 and 17.
Matthew chapter 26, verse 17. Now the first day of the feast of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Mashiach Yahushua, saying unto him, Where wilt thou that we prepare for thee to eat the Passover?
See? So he observed the Passover. In the holy days too. Get John 10:22. So people call themselves being Mashiachim, they being like Christ. How come they not doing these things? What he did. Read this.
St. John chapter 10, verse 22. And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication.
See, it was at Jerusalem, the feast of what?
The dedication.
Feast of dedication. The feast of dedication. That's what we call Hanukkah, Feast of Lights today. Around the time of in November, sometime in December, sometime right around the pagan day Christmas. Read.
And it was winter.
See, it was in the winter. So, I'm just showing you that he observed these things. Go to John the 5th chapter, the first verse.
St. John chapter 5, verse 1. After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Mashiach Yahushua went up to Jerusalem.
Right. It was a feast of the Israelites. St. John the 2nd chapter, the 13th verse.
St. John chapter 2, verse 13. And the Jews' Passover was at hand, and Mashiach Yahushua went up to Jerusalem.
See? The Passover, that's what he did. He observed these things. Go to Acts the 20th chapter. And read verse 6.
Acts chapter 20, verse 6. And we sailed away from Philippi after the days of unleavened bread.
See? After the days of unleavened bread. Passover and unleavened bread. After the days of unleavened bread, that's 8 days that we observe our holy day. For 8 days. Then after that, then he sailed to Philippi, which you would read about his writings in Philippians. That's the land of Philippi. Okay? Read from the top.
Acts chapter 20, verse 6. And we sailed away from Philippi after the days of unleavened bread, and came unto them to Troas in 5 days, where we abode 7 days.
Right. And go to Acts 24, read verse 12.
Acts chapter 24.
Read verse 11 first.
Acts chapter 24, verse 11. Because that thou mayest understand that there are yet but 12 days since I went up to Jerusalem for to worship.
Right. He went up to Jerusalem for to worship. As the Most High, remember the Most High told us, he said he gonna ordain us, so he went to Jerusalem. At this time, we could go to our homeland, where we was at, sail back to Jerusalem for the holy days. Verse 17.
Now after many years, I came to bring alms to my nation and offerings.
Right. So, because a lot of people say you're not supposed to give anything. They try to detour people from even helping. In the work that we have to do. Don't want to give anything. That's why Israel gonna be, they're gonna be doomed. Really, because they don't want to sacrifice. I mean, it's like, what do you really need? When you give to this truth, and
alms say that alms, covers a multitude of sins.
Right. When you give to this truth, you can be blessed. But then you wonder why you're not blessed, why things aren't working for you, because you don't give anything. You don't. It's more than yourself. Yourself, ourselves. That's our reasonable service. In the Most High's eye, He don't really feel that. He ain't feel that. That's why when the book will be open, He gonna say, okay, well, I did this for me, and I did this for myself, and I did this, and I did that. What about somebody else? What about the sacrifices you do for someone else? That's what this is all about. Mashiach Yahushua gave His life up for us. The ultimate sacrifice. And we ain't serving to blood. That's what this is about. Like you say, it can dismiss a multitude of sins. And we all have sinned and come short of the glory of the Most High, unless you're fooling yourself. In this wicked world, shoot. Give me 1 Corinthians 16. And read verse 1.
1 Corinthians chapter 16, verse 1. Now concerning the collection for the saints.
What? Concerning what?
Now concerning the collection for the saints.
A collection for the saints. The saints are the children of Israel. What you mean collection? You mean you collected some money? I thought you couldn't ask for no money. Concerning what?
Collection for the saints.
Because the church supposed to have the funds to be able to help those that have a need.
God.
No more, no less. So the collection for the saints, the people that are the children of Israel, read.
As I have given order to the churches of Galatia, even so do ye.
Yeah, so I gave order to the churches in Galatia to collect this money. Read.
Upon the first day of the week, let every one of you lay by him in store, as the Most High hath prospered him.
Yeah, as the Most High hath prospered you, bring it on. Read.
That there be no gatherings when I come.
Read.
And when I come, whomsoever ye shall approve by your letters, them will I send to bring your liberality unto Jerusalem.
Them would I send to bring the monies that you have collected to the headquarters, Jerusalem. Are we in the Old Testament, Ark? We in the New Testament. Read on.
And if it be meet that I go also, they shall go with me.
Right. Be right that he go, so they're going to go with him when he go to Jerusalem. Read.
Now I will come unto you when I shall pass through Macedonia, for I do pass through Macedonia.
Right, so I'm going to come to you when I pass through Macedonia. Read.
And it may be that I will abide, and winter with you, that ye may bring me on my journey whithersoever I go.
Right, they're going to help you on this journey. Read.
For I will not see you now by the way, but I trust to tarry a while with you, if the Most High permit.
Right, so he said, I'm gonna hang with you. I'm gonna hang out with you for a little while, if the Most High will. That's what he says. The Most High will. Read.
But I will tarry at Ephesus until Pentecost.
See what he say? I'm gonna tarry at Ephesus, which when you read the book of Ephesians, that's the people, the Israelites that are scattered, or they call them the foreigners or whatever, the Gentiles, according to the ones that was living in Israel. Peter and all of them called the ones that was scattered Gentiles, among the Gentiles. But he said he's going to tarry, he's going to stay in Ephesians until the Pentecost. So he observed what? The same thing we're observing. The Pentecost. Everybody see this? So, I mean, it's pretty clear to me. Unless y'all, somebody else have some new revelations. Something else, I don't know, it's pretty clear, right? It's pretty clear. Crystal clear, right? So now let's go into, 2nd Ezra is 9 and 15 in the Apocrypha. Second Ezra is 9 and 15. Wow, right there. Spirit. Go ahead.
2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 15.
Right.
I have said before, and now do speak, and will speak it also hereafter.
Well, he say he's speaking. So he's going to speak it now, going to speak it hereafter. Read.
That there be many more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved.
Hear that? There'll be many more of them that's going to perish than them that shall be saved. Verse 20.
Verse 20. So I considered the world, and behold, there was a peril because of the
Don't
devices.
say a peril.
Because
No, there was peril.
there was peril.
There was peril, meaning danger. Read.
Because of the devices that were come into
There
it.
was danger in the world because of all the things that people created in this world. 21.
And I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the custard, and a plant of a great people.
So the Most High see all these wicked inventions that's been done and made on this earth, invented on this earth, but he said he kept them a grape or the cluster of grapes. Read.
Let the multitude perish then,
Let the multitude perish then, he said. Read.
which was born in
He
vain,
was born in vain. Come on.
and let my grape be kept.
That's that 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel that's going to follow the righteous way of the Most High and don't deviate. Read.
And my plant,
This plant, read.
for with great labor have I made it
He
perfect.
said, with great labor have he made it perfect. You see that? The Most High is making it perfect. That's why I get off Isaiah 60 and 21. And 22. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 60, verse 21. Thy people also shall be all
So
righteous.
that's just the labor that he's working to make us perfect, that we can be all righteous. Read.
They shall inherit the land
We're going to inherit the land how long?
forever.
Forever. That's why we got next. The Most High will. Read.
The branch of my
See
planting.
that? The branch of his plant. That's why I say his plant. His grape, his plant. He's going to do this. Not no man or no woman. It said the branch of my planting. This is what the Most High going to do. Read.
The works of my hand.
Oh, so man's hand?
My hand.
That's the Most High's hands. Read.
That I may be glorified.
So if man do it, is the Most High going to be glorified? No. He said that he may be glorified. Come on.
A little one shall become 1,000.
So a little one of the little one's going to have 1,000 babies. Read.
And a small one, a strong
And
nation.
a small one, a strong nation. Read.
I, the Most High, will hasten it in his time.
He's going to bring it about in his time. It's in the Most High's hand. Con?
Done.
That's what he's saying. Go to Revelation 14 and 14.
Revelation chapter 14, verse 14. And I looked, and behold, a white cloud.
Right, this white cloud, pure chariot. You know, the clouds are the chariots of the Most High when you read Psalms 104 and 3. Okay, so you notice a chariot that a Mashiach Yahushua is sitting on, right?
And upon the cloud one sat, like unto the Son of Man.
Right, this is a Mashiach Yahushua sitting in this beautiful, pure chariot. Righteous chariot. Read.
Having on his head a golden crown.
Having on his head a golden crown, meaning he's filled with the powers and authority that the Most High has given him as he's seeing them. Read.
And in his hand a sharp sickle.
Right, so give real quick, go to Daniel's, well, hold that, stay there, because I'm going to come back there. Get Daniel 7:13.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 13. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came came with the clouds of heaven.
So here he is in the clouds again. Because remember, he ascended in the clouds in Acts, the 1st chapter, the 9th verse. So when he ascended up in the clouds, then here it is. This goes right along with that. I'll read it. Hold, stay there. I'll read it right quick so you'll see how this all coincides together. Acts 1 and 9. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. So we got to go to what this cloud is. So everybody's might be someone that's new on the phone conference, or that's new here that might not be able to relate. So we get understanding through the precepts. So we go to Psalms 104 and 3. I have it. It says, "Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot." So the cloud is a chariot or a vehicle, what they call a flying saucer, a UFO, what we call them IFOs. They call them unidentified flying objects. We call them identified flying objects because we know that these clouds are the chariots or the vehicles of the Most High. So that's what we're looking at here. That's why it says in Acts the 1st chapter, the 9th verse, after Mashiach Yahushua died, rose the 3rd day, walked the earth for 40 days. Then this is what happened. He said, Acts 1 and 9, and when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. So when the cloud received him out of the sight, now Daniel's given the understanding what happened when the cloud received him out of the sight. When he left this earth and he went up in the cloud, now we're seeing what happened when he went up in the cloud. The angels came and got him. Now let's go to Daniel 7:13.
Daniel chapter 7 verse 13. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man.
Same Son of Man that we just read about in Revelation 14 and 14. The Mashiach Yahushua, read.
Came with the clouds of heaven.
He came with the clouds of heaven. Just like we just read in Acts the 1st chapter, 9th verse. He came with the clouds of heaven, read.
And came to the Ancient of Days.
He came to the Most High, read.
And they brought him near before him.
And they, the angels, brought him near before the Most High.